Hi friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth and it's nice to be sewing with you today. Today I'm making a double leaf quilt block. The quilt behind me, I used a lot of batiks. I use all kinds of fabrics in my sewing room. Someone asked what kind of fabrics are my favorite. I like them all. So today's block, 2 leaves in 1. You really need to have this part of the block to make the 2 leaves. And I'm making it with batik fabrics. But at the end of the video here, I tried it out with some scraps, and tell me what you think. So let's get started. This is what we're going to need for our double leaf block. I have 2 leaves in my quilt block, and they each need a square that's 4.5 inches. They each need 2 rectangles, 4.5 by 2.5. and 3 squares, 2.5 inches. So I have 2 leaves with that, and all of these numbers and information will be down in the description. For the background, I need 4 2.5 inch squares, and then for each corner it's 4.5 inch square 2 times, 4.5 by 2.5 2 times, and 2.5 by 6.5 2 times. So that's what you'll need to make our double leaf block. Let's sit down at the machine and start putting this together. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add these 4 background squares to my leaf squares. And I'll be sewing a line right through here from corner to corner on both sides of my 4.5 inch squares. Now you can draw the line today. I don't think I'm going to draw lines on all of them. And then I will do the other one. If it's a small square like this, you can usually eyeball that line from corner to corner, but if you don't feel comfortable, draw yourself a pencil line. Now I will press these open, and I'll make sure that I am covering that corner, which I am. So now I can trim. Before or after I press, I'm going to trim this away. And before I go any farther, I do like to sew these together. Then I have a block waiting for me when I want to use them in another project. They're all set to go. I press that towards the dark side, and it is 1 3/4 inch. So there you go. I have a block for something else. Now we're going to make sure that I covered that corner with those, and I did. Trim, sew it, and press it, and then we will start putting our block together. So I have my 2 leaves started. I have the corners put on, and now what I want to do is take these background squares and take 2 orange and 2 of the green. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with my background square, except this time I'm going to put a green on one side and an orange on the other side. So I'm going to sit down on the machine and do that. So now I'm going to lay everything out. I've added corners to my leaves, and I added 2 different colors to these squares, and what I need to do now is orient it just like that, so that the orange is with the orange and the green is with the green. Now I'm going to think about my block in quadrants. So I'll put these 4 together, then I'll put these 3, these 4, and then these 3, and then all I have to do is put those 4 pieces together to make a block. So just make sure you have everything set up correctly. sit down at the machine and put it together. So let's do that. Here is my double leaf block, a really pretty quilt block. It measures 12.5 inches. And just for fun, I thought I would take some scraps and see what a scrappy version would look like. So I took some fabrics that were similar oranges and yellows, and rather than make all these pieces the same orange, I took some scraps and I made a scrappy version of that same block with some different colors. I kind of like how it turned out. It's fun to try new things. It's quite an adventure quilting and using up fabric. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you next time.